Good day. I'm Silverburn Cassinan, and I'd like to talk to you about what true atheism is.
Does anybody else find it just a little bit odd that somebody who is not an atheist is going to tell us atheists what position we actually hold? That's not just a straw man argument. That's an entire straw family living in a straw house with a patch of strawberries growing in a backyard full of straw. Let's do this. Greetings, fellow space travelers. BionicDance here, and this is, as he said, Silverburn Cassinan, whatever that means. And he seems to have a few problems with atheism, or what he thinks is atheism. However, first things first. Vertical video?
To peddling.
Seriously, dude, look at the difference between this and this. You see how confining that is? This and this. This and this. Even if you're filming video on your phone, that's no excuse for bad filmmaking technique. Now, on to the main event.
So first of all, you atheists say, that you get morality because of the electrochemical neurons and all of the... no.
That is a weapons-grade oversimplification. It's like saying that a car goes forward because the wheels turn, completely ignoring the functional processes of the internal combustion engine. Yes, morality is rooted in the brain, but it is also an intellectual pursuit. It comes from experience. It comes from thought and emotion. We have morality because we can feel pain or disgust or hurt, and we'd like to prevent it. To pass that off, to diminish it as though it's just chemicals bashing about, is dishonest at best.
What am I talking about? But you think science is responsible for morality.
Telling me what I think?
To peddling.
You see, the problem with that is, just because you have the chemicals in your brain making you do something that is considered moral, does that really mean anything?
Does it have to? It means something to us. What more do you need?
Just like, if you have a genital, does that automatically mean that you have to have a child? It doesn't mean anything.
What? That is a really odd comparison.
It just means you were created.
Stop saying that!
Created implies not merely deliberate intent, but also manual labor, as opposed to biology taking its natural course. Nobody will be created until scientists start growing humans in vats, manipulating the fetus as it grows. So stop saying we were created. It just makes you look silly.
If there's no God, we were just created by chance.
Oh, I could spend the rest of my life having this conversation. Please try to understand before one of us dies.
Deliberate intent and chance are not the only options. When an apple falls from a tree, is it chance where it lands and subsequently rolls? Or is it the laws of physics taking place in a way far too fast and complicated for the human brain to calculate unaided? Because it's the same with reproduction. Gazillions of sperm, each with its own combination of half of his DNA, heading towards an egg with half of her DNA. And while the resulting offspring may seem completely random, it's actually the quite orderly processes of human reproduction which, again, are very difficult for the unaided human mind to calculate. So stop describing our existence as chance, because random is one thing it's definitely not. In fact, random is something that doesn't really exist in the universe. Throwing dice is physics. Computers base random numbers off of what time it is, or at least they used to back when I tried my hand at programming in the early 90s. Even eeny, meeny, miny, mo has a definite conclusion. What humans call random is really just something that's difficult to predict.
So what is everything? What is anything?
Does it really matter? We're here. It's here. Sure, it'd be great to understand it all, but until we do, I'm sure we can just muddle along doing what seems to be in our best interest. And if it turns out that life has no ultimate purpose or meaning, will that really stop you from trying to enjoy it as much as you can, trying to avoid pain and suffering? Which, incidentally, requires us to work together for mutual self-interest, or it can really fuck things up. And that's morality, trying really hard not to screw things up for everybody. Unfortunately, far too many of us have different and mutually exclusive ideas of what it means to screw things up.
Once you close out all non-material factors, then morality becomes meaningless, because even though morality is triggered within you through chemical reactions, still, it's just a coincidence of atoms forming together in evolution, which is basically what you're saying. That it was just a coincidence, so that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean good, bad.
And why would it mean anything more if it came from another source? Your God made up morality? So what? I can make up morality. Why would your God's morality mean more than mine? Because he's God? Because he outranks me? Do please start making sense. All morality is an opinion on which behaviors are acceptable or not, and that opinion means nothing more no matter who it comes from. The only reason any morality is given more authority than another is because lots of people started agreeing with it.
If you're going to go to an eternal void of darkness after death, then make the most of your life instead of helping people out.
Oh, I see. You're saying that, as an atheist, selfishness is the way to go. Newsflash, cooperation for mutual benefit enables us to make the most of our lives. It's in our best interest to be nice to each other and help others out. Do unto others is a perfectly rational morality that requires no God to have handed it down.
Because if your life is finite and then you're going to go to an eternal void of darkness after death, I strongly suggest that you value your life infinitely more than anyone else's.
You have to stop the Q-tip when there's resistance.
I strongly suspect I value other people's lives far more than any theist. What's that expression? Kill them all, let God sort them out. If you think you're going to some eternal heaven after death, then what possible reason is there to value life? And if you think that statement is silly, think how an atheist might view yours. Until next time, fellow space travelers, this is BionicDance saying don't run on automatic. Instead, please think. If you don't like what I'm saying, there's a good chance you're the reason I'm saying it.